At the end of the day, like I'm working on these two things. One is the difference between progressivism and neoliberalism, and understanding, making sure, and that conversation starts with understanding what liberalism used to mean and what neoliberalism means. And if
Right.
you can figure out that progression, then you can understand the compare and contrast with current day progressivism.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
other side of this too, in terms of empathy, empathetic arithmetic, right? I think for a lot of people, I think you might be like this. It's so goddamn hard to find a routine of work life balance that works for you. The process, and that goes on different contexts of your lives, like raising kids, for example. That's a wrench into your routine once you have a kid, and then your
Right.
entire life becomes about them.
Glad
Yeah,
I
you
was
should
woken
be
up from
scared of
that.
having
Yeah.
kids. Everybody, we need to shock this youth, Gen Z, and everybody younger. Be very scared of having kids. Have fewer
I think a
kids.
lot of them already are. Like, honestly, a lot of people younger than me, like, yeah, if they're having kids, it's because they are
Well, they can't
stable.
afford a home. How they're not? They can't afford a home. How are they going to afford a kid?
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. And, like, you're going to need more than one income for sure because of the cost
Yeah.
of living and whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, I even had, like, a brush up recently with just this overwhelming desire to, like, I want a kid. I'm 28. I want to reproduce. I want I want to find someone that I mingle enough with to actually have a child. And I ended up having a dream. I ended up having a dream that actually just shook me to my core enough to where it woke me up from it. I mean, granted, like my ex did actually kind of convince me, like, no, you're not ready, like you're not in any position to do so, like, and I know that, but that desire is still there. But this dream, I I ended up, like, unknowingly having to be in the care by myself of two infants, and it was so anxiety inducing and overwhelming because I didn't know what to do. I literally had no, like, I know that I had my responsibilities to take care of, my work life and whatnot. I couldn't just take them with me. I could drop off it was so surreal to the point where, like, I kind of, like, snapped out of it. Like, I am not ready, and neither are a whole lot of people my age. And it, I read this thing once. Nothing ruins your 20s more than thinking that you should have your life together by now. And I couldn't agree more because a lot of people my age, they don't. Like, they're still
No,
figuring themselves
I
out.
didn't.
Yeah, no. And it's like it's crazy to me to think that people have kids at such a young age. I'm not talking about, like, in their teenage years. I'm talking about, like, at 23, 24, like
Yeah.
like still that young. Like, no way. There's no way in hell. Like I I can look at, like, my parents, myself, because they had me their senior year of high school. They were like 17, 18 years old.
Really young. Yeah.
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 Yeah, no kidding. So it's like you're still a kid. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
still a fucking kid. I'm about to turn 29, and I, I still feel like I'm still clinging on to my youth in a way.
Sure.
As much as I'd love to have a little me running around, there's no way. Like, a lot more
Well,
things
luckily
need
you're
to
a
come
man, so you
first.
don't. There's not as much pressure on
Of
you
course,
to get that done anytime soon.
exactly.
So
No, yeah,
you got a good 7 years before you really need to put pressure on yourself to do that. But I will say about adulthood, I hesitate to say this, but it's how I honestly feel. Just in my experience, always qualify it with that.
yeah.
I suspect that most men aren't really adults per se.
Hmm.
And I kind of alluded to this in one of my episodes. I think it was the very first one, actually. Most men aren't really adults until they're 30.
Sure.
There's something about 30 that it's like, okay, what is my craft? What is my purpose here? I really should. Because then you're
Right.
like, oh my God, I'm 10 years from 40. And then at 40, it's all over. I'm about to be 40, by the way. So I don't think men are really adults, and they have to deal with that question that you're dealing with of whether or not you want to have kids. And that's cool that you have a concrete answer right now,
Right.
because not everybody does.
Right.
And what I would say about women, though, is that I think because of their biology, at the latest, they're 27 when they become a woman, because
Right.
they become adults when
Much
they
sooner.
start to have yeah, much sooner, because they have to figure it out. If you're going to settle down, it's just not it's
Yeah.
just
Societal pressure and yeah,
not
all that. Uh oh.
in the physical interests of reproducing until, especially after 35 or what. I didn't hear. Yeah, you just
Yeah.
oh, there you go. Now you're back.
Okay. Yeah. It's just like completely froze, and now it's completely normal. Weird. Yeah. No. Yeah. I agree. Like I have a coworker at my second job. She is, I believe, 20, and she's pregnant. I'm just like, you're barely even an adult. Like
Yeah.
you haven't even gotten the time to understand the world like yet, and you're already jumping into motherhood. It's like it's crazy to think about because like in one aspect like you're still a child yourself, like you still have a lot more of your youth to experience and explore before settling, for lack of a better phrase.